One of the major milestones on a newcomer's journey is investing in a home. Let's learn about private mortgages as an option for that from Stuart Wilkinson, Chief Consumer Officer at FSRA or Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Ontario. Welcome, Stuart.
Thank you, Shruti. Looking forward to the conversation.
For those viewers that may not know, what exactly is FSRA?
Yeah, that's a great question. And FSRA is the Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Ontario. We're a consumer protection agency that regulates financial services in Ontario. We regulate financial services like pensions, insurance, mortgage brokers, and credit unions. Those are all very different sectors, but what brings them all together is that they all serve Ontarians on a day-to-day basis and at really important points in Ontarians' lives. Times like thinking about purchasing a home or thinking about retirement or even recovering from an unexpected loss. FSRA is here to regulate these really important sectors and ultimately make sure that consumers are being treated fairly.
What should a newcomer to Canada know about private mortgage when they start looking into the housing market?
Private mortgages are increasing in popularity or interest with consumers in Ontario. And that's mostly due to the economic times that we're in. When a consumer can't qualify for a traditional mortgage from a credit union or a bank, that's when they're likely to turn to a private lender for a private mortgage to satisfy their financing needs. Consumers really need to understand differences between private mortgages and traditional mortgages. There are a lot of detailed terms and conditions that can be different in a private mortgage. For example, higher interest rates, a shorter term, different lender fees, or even interest-only conditions that require the borrower to only pay down the interest on the loan rather than the interest and the principal on the loan. And what those different terms and conditions really add up to is the fact that a private mortgage is a temporary solution for consumers to consider when trying to meet their financing needs. And when a consumer is looking at a private mortgage, they should also be looking at developing an exit strategy so that if they enter into a private mortgage, they're entering into it with a clear plan on how to return to the traditional mortgage market at a later date.
So how can FSRA help when it comes to private mortgages?
Well, there are really three things that I want to highlight for consumers in how FSRA can help. The first is FSRA on our website, fsrao.ca, has a list of all the licensed mortgage brokers that you can work with in Ontario. So FSRA can help by giving you access to that list so you can understand if your mortgage broker has the license that they need in order to give you advice. That's the first point. The second point is FSRA can help by being there for you if you feel like things are not going in the way you want or you're being treated unfairly. We have both a contact center and a complaints function that can take in your concerns and help you navigate through the process. And we even have a whistleblower protection program if you have very serious concerns and want to be treated anonymously. And finally, FSRA has lots of information on our website about private mortgages. And I said the URL once, I'll say it again, fsrao.ca/private mortgages is where you should visit if you have questions about private mortgages in particular. And remember that on our website, we also have a Google Translate function. So if English and French aren't your first language, you can still access information in Hindi, simplified Chinese, Italian, Spanish, and German.
And lastly, is there any other piece of advice that you have for newcomers who are navigating the housing market?
Well, I think navigating the housing market in Ontario is quite a challenge. So hopefully, if you go to fsrao.ca/private mortgages, you can find some useful information that will help you in that journey.
Thank you, Stuart, for that information, and thank you for joining us.